The first one is drugs and alcohol. I want to challenge you, do not bow to drugs and alcohol. And what makes it even harder at times is it's often our closest friends that are inviting us to participate in drinking and taking drugs. And it's so hard to say no to your best friends. I mean, you just need to turn on the television. You just need to look in our communities, our First Nations community, to see the damage that alcohol and drugs have done to people. How it's torn their lives apart, torn their families apart, are tearing our communities apart. My challenge to you today is to say no. Don't bow to drugs and alcohol. A guy by the name of Dr. Gabor Mate says that underneath all addiction is pain. And to numb that pain, we turn to alcohol and drugs. I want to challenge you to get help for your pain. Go get counseling. Talk to a pastor. Talk to a close friend. Someone who can help you deal with the pain that's in your life so you don't have to turn to alcohol and drugs. Say no to drugs and alcohol. The second thing I want to challenge you not to bow to is sexual sins. I want to say, first off, that God created sex, gave us mankind as a beautiful gift. But according to the scripture, to be used within the bounds of marriage between husband and wife. Sex between husband and wife is a very beautiful, powerful thing. I want to challenge you today not to bow to sex outside of marriage. To wait for that person that God has given you or will give you until that right person comes who you fall in love with, where there's going to be trust, commitment, and faithfulness and love. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 18. He tells them to flee sexual immorality. Every sin that a man does is outside the body, but he who commits sexual immorality sins against his own body. It says there to flee. I like that. It says run away from it. I mean, even television, everywhere else, we're bombarded with sex. It says flee sexual immorality. That's what the Bible calls it. It's a sexual sin outside of marriage. Don't participate in it. Wait until you're married. And God will bless you for that. It says when you partake in sexual sin, it's a sin against your own body. We've heard of sexually transmitted diseases, AIDS, as a result of sex outside of marriage. I challenge you today to wait for that right person, to pray that God would lead you to the person that you should spend the rest of your life with. God is able to provide. God is able to do that. He knows your needs. Say no to sexual sins. Number 3, say no to negative peer pressure. Don't bow to negative peer pressure. Again here, it's so difficult when the peer pressure is coming from our closest friends or our family, those we love, those we spend time with. But I want you to realize that it's okay to say no, that it's okay to stand alone and be different. Peer pressure is hard when especially those who are closest to you are telling you, come on, do this. Let's go participate in this. I want to challenge you to be willing to stand alone at times in your life. Even if the majority is saying yes, I challenge you to say no to the negative things in your life. Number 4, I challenge you not to bow to aimlessness or not having purpose in your life. That's really a big struggle for a lot of our young people. When you don't have purpose in your life, then you have no passion, no motivation, no direction, as Andy Stanley says. We don't really know where we're going, so we're just kind of lost and wandering around in our communities. You need to have purpose in your life. You need to know what you should be doing in your life. You should know the direction you should go. Mom and dads are able to help you with that. Your teachers are able to help you with that. The pastors are able to help you with that. And most importantly, God has a purpose for your life. He has a plan for your life. He knows what direction your life should take. And that's why I want to challenge you to have purpose in your life, to turn to God, to find out what your purpose, why you're here on this earth, what your purpose is, what work that you have been given to do to impact others in this life. Fifthly, say no, or don't bow to violence or bullying. Say no. There's a lot of violence in our communities. Again, violence comes from the anger that's within us. We've been hurt, we're in pain. So we lash out at everybody else in violence and in bullying. We don't feel good about ourselves. That's really what bullying is too. The person who is the bully doesn't feel good about themselves because of everything that has happened in their lives. So they try to bring everybody down. They try to hurt everybody else. Deal with that hurt. Deal with that pain. Say no to violence. Say no to bullying. Don't hurt others. God calls us to love people, to be gentle with each other, to care about one another. Don't bow to violence and bullying. The sixth thing is lies. Don't bow to believing lies about yourself. Psalm 51 verse 6 says that God desires truth in the inward parts. He wants us to look at ourselves in truth, not to believe lies about ourselves. A lot of our lives come from the experiences, especially the negative experiences that we've had in life. They come from good experiences. Good experiences give us the truth. When somebody says to you as a child, oh, you're a very good-looking or beautiful girl or beautiful boy, that gives us a good self-image. But when somebody slaps you in the head or somebody says negative things about you, you got big ears or big nose, then we begin to believe those lies and we develop a negative self-image. And we live the rest of our lives believing these lies. You know, there was 3 lies that I uncovered in my counseling. There were, I can't do it right, and everyone can do things better than me. I believed those lies for years, and it really hindered my life. I didn't move on as faster as I could in my life than I should have. But you know what I did? One day I asked God to forgive me for believing those lies. Because God doesn't say that about me. He says, I can do it. You can do it right, and then I can do it just as good as anybody else, the things that He has called me to do. I don't know what lies you believe in your life today. Maybe you feel like you're no good, you're ugly, you're damaged goods. Many, many lies you can believe. I want to challenge you today to deal with those lies, to ask God to forgive you for believing those lies, and start believing what He says about you in His book, the Bible, where He says that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, that He loves you and that He cares about you, that He created you male or female, and He said it's very, very good. I want to tell you, you're a beautiful person today. But sometimes these lies come in our way that blind us from really believing what God says about us. Don't bow to the lies in your life. And lastly, I want to challenge you today not to bow to suicide. Say no to suicide. I want to tell you that things will be okay even though they don't seem like they're okay today. I want to tell you that things will get better. That even if you failed and you feel horrible about it, I want to tell you that that too can be dealt with. That can be forgiven. That can be cleansed. Problems that you have can be solved. They can be helped. You can get help for them. Maybe you experience a broken relationship, and that's very painful when you're a young person. To break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, it's a very, very painful experience. But I want to tell you that you can heal from that you will be okay. And a lot of other problems and pains that we have gone through, maybe sexual abuse in your childhood. Maybe you grew up in an alcoholic home. Maybe you experienced bullying, violence, and you feel like you're just wounded and hurting today. And you feel like taking your own life. I want to challenge you today. Say no. Don't bow to suicide. Life can become better. You know, Jesus said in His word, John 10:10, the thief comes but to steal and to kill and to destroy. We've experienced being robbed and stolen from and destroyed. We've experienced that. But then the second part of that verse is what I want to share is Jesus said, I came that you might have life and that you might have it to the full. Maybe because of all your woundedness, your hurt and your pain, you don't feel whole, you feel broken. I want to tell you today that Jesus Christ came that you might have life and that you might have it to the full. What a wonderful offer He offers you and I today.